This happened just 11 minutes ago. Someone you love was shot by. My beloved child. 11 minutes ago, destiny took a turn so sharp that even time itself froze for a moment. A sound ripped through the air, silent to the world, but loud enough for the universe to tremble. And the one who felt its impact is someone whose name is stitched directly into your heartbeat. But before you panic, listen closely, because something huge is waiting for you. The truth you're about to hear isn't just shocking, it's the kind of revelation that rewrites your entire story. Amen. Blessing 111. But here's the twist no one prepared you for. The moment that shot was fired, an unexpected witness stepped forward, someone who never should have been there, someone who knows your loved one better than you do, someone who has been carrying a secret so deadly, so explosive, that if it comes out, everything you thought you knew about loyalty, trust, and love will collapse in one breath. And that witness didn't run. They didn't scream. They didn't even flinch. Instead, they whispered a name, your name. Because without you, none of this makes sense. Without you, the next 11 minutes will decide everything: what breaks, what survives, what gets exposed, and what destiny forces you to face. Amen. Blessing 222. And now the craziest part, what no one saw coming. The person who pulled the trigger wasn't aiming to end a life. They were aiming to expose a lie. A lie your loved one has been hiding for months. A lie that was meant to protect you. A lie that was supposed to stay buried forever, until tonight. The bullet didn't just hit a body, it hit the truth. It shattered the barrier between what you were told and what was actually happening behind your back. And right now, as you're listening, your loved one is trying to say one last thing, not to the world, not to the witness, but directly to you. And when you hear it, everything inside you will change. Stay till the last second, because the next words will show you why fate chose you, why you were the only one meant to hear this message. Amen. Blessing 333. Before I reveal the next truth, understand this: the moment that bullet echoed through the air, a chain reaction began, one that now has your name written in the center. And your loved one, still fighting for breath, whispered something so shocking, the witness froze. Because the truth wasn't about pain, it was about you. And what they said will flip your entire reality upside down. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 444. But here comes the twist no one on this earth was ready for. The person who fired that shot wasn't a stranger. They weren't an enemy. They weren't someone hiding in the shadows. No, they were someone who has been silently circling your life for months, keeping track of your moves, watching the shifts in your destiny, and waiting for the exact moment to strike. And the reason they acted tonight is even more shocking: they knew your loved one's secret. A secret so heavy that even heaven couldn't stay silent anymore. And now, as the truth unravels, every second pulls you deeper into a storyline you never asked for, but were chosen for. Amen. Blessing 555. But wait, listen carefully, because this is where everything flips. In that final moment before losing consciousness, your loved one signaled the witness to come closer, and asked them to deliver a message directly to you. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. And that message carries 3 warnings. one revelation, and one request that will shake your heart to its core. And the witness said this while trembling. Tell them this video is not just a message, it's the last protection I have left. And right now, you're being asked to do something important, because your presence here isn't accidental. If you're listening, if you've reached this point, type Amen so your energy aligns with the truth being unlocked. Amen. Blessing 666. And now, the moment you've been unconsciously preparing for is here. The witness, still shaking from what they saw just 11 minutes ago, finally revealed the first hidden layer of truth, something your loved one never had the courage to say while standing alive and strong. And that truth is not about blood, not about danger, but about a connection so powerful that destiny had to interrupt your life to make sure you finally heard it. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 777. Because here is the twist that turns everything upside down. Your loved one wasn't targeted randomly. They weren't caught in the wrong place. They weren't unlucky. No, this entire incident was triggered because of a decision you made months ago, a decision you forgot, a decision that silently changed the direction of someone else's life. And that someone couldn't handle the power you carried. They watched you rise. They watched you glow. They watched someone close to your heart get closer to you than they ever could. And jealousy, quiet, poisonous, patient jealousy, took root. That jealousy led to tonight. But the outcome is nothing like they expected, because your loved one didn't break. They spoke. They revealed. They exposed the real person behind everything. And now, the spotlight is on you. Amen. Blessing 888. But wait, this is the part that will shake your soul. Before collapsing, your loved one grabbed the witness's hand and whispered something so emotional, so raw, that it made the witness cry. They said, "Tell them I wasn't hurt because of them. I was hurt because I loved them too much to let the truth reach them." And that truth? It's a name. A name connected to someone you trust. Someone who pretends to protect you, but has been feeding lies into your life for months. Someone who now realizes the truth is slipping from their control. And they are the one watching you right now, terrified that you'll uncover everything. Stay with this story till the last breath, because the next part will expose the identity that changes everything. Amen. Blessing 999. Listen carefully. Because this is the moment where the entire story flips from mystery to revelation. The witness, after holding back tears and terror, finally confessed what your loved one whispered in their ear, the identity of the one who caused everything. And the name they revealed was so unexpected, so close to your daily life, that the witness themselves refused to repeat it twice. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 1111. But before we uncover that name, there's something you must do, because your energy decides how this truth unfolds. Your loved one said one final instruction. Tell them to share this message, tell them to comment their amen, tell them to stay connected, because the truth must reach them before the one behind this tries to erase it. These aren't ordinary actions, these are signals, the only signals your loved one can still send from the edge of consciousness. Every share echoes their voice. Every comment strengthens the protection around you. Every moment you stay here weakens the one who tried to silence the truth. Amen. Blessing 12:12. And now, the revelation that will shake everything inside you. The person behind the shot is someone who has been pretending to care about you. Someone who listens to your problems. Someone who acts supportive, but only to stay close enough to manipulate your decisions. Your loved one discovered their deception days ago. They warned them to stay away from you. But instead of backing off, that person panicked. They feared losing control over your life. So tonight, driven by desperation, jealousy, and fear, they pulled a trigger they never meant to pull. But the universe flipped the script. Because instead of ending a life, they exposed their own darkness. And now your loved one's final words to you are trembling through time itself. Tell them I took the bullet so the truth could reach them. You're not just listening to a story. You're standing at the doorway of a truth that will rewrite your next chapter. Stay ready, because the next part will reveal the face behind the betrayal. Amen. Blessing 14:14. And now the silence breaks. Because the witness has finally gathered enough courage to reveal what they saw in the shooter's eyes in the exact second the trigger was pulled. It wasn't rage. It wasn't madness. It was fear. Fear of losing the influence they once had over your life. This wasn't an attack meant to end someone, it was a desperate attempt to stop the truth from reaching you. But fate flipped everything. Instead of silencing your loved one, the moment exposed every hidden intention they had been masking behind fake smiles, fake concern, and fake loyalty. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 15:15. What makes this twist even more unbelievable is what your loved one tried to do in their final conscious moments. They didn't cry. They didn't panic. They didn't beg for help. They did something far more powerful. They protected you. With trembling hands, they took out a small folded note, one they had been carrying for weeks, waiting for the right moment to give you. The witness opened it, and inside was a single line written with shaking handwriting. I knew who would betray you before tonight, but I waited for the universe to reveal their truth. That means the person behind everything has been hiding in plain sight, weaving themselves into your life so smoothly that you never questioned their intentions. But your loved one saw through them long before you did. Amen. Blessing 16:16. And now the moment that sends chills down your spine. Your loved one wasn't supposed to be there tonight. They weren't meant to cross paths with the one who betrayed you. Something higher pulled them into that moment, a divine interception, a cosmic protection, because your destiny was about to be manipulated in a way that could have destroyed your future. Instead, your loved one absorbed the impact meant for your life path. Their final whisper before slipping away was simple, soft, and soul-shattering. Tell them I did this, so they finally see the truth waiting behind the mask. You're closer than ever to discovering the identity, the motive, and the final twist that will expose everything. Stay steady. Amen. Blessing 17:17. Everything changes now. Because the witness has finally revealed what happened in the seconds after the shot, moments no one else in the world knows about. When your loved one collapsed, struggling to hold on, a strange calmness washed over their face. Not fear. Not regret. It was the calm of someone who had finally uncovered the truth they'd been chasing in silence. And as the witness leaned closer, your loved one whispered something that will send a shiver straight through your soul. Tell them, the shooter wasn't my enemy. The real enemy is the one who sent them. And with those words, the entire story shifts direction. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 18:18. Because now the truth becomes darker, deeper, and far more personal. The shooter was never acting alone. They were controlled, manipulated, emotionally cornered by someone whose connection to you runs deeper than you ever imagined. Someone who has been shaping your decisions from the shadows. Someone who pretended to guide you, but was actually guiding themselves. And when your loved one got too close to exposing their game, the betrayer panicked. They pushed the shooter into making a move, one they believed would stop everything. But instead, the universe turned the moment into a revelation. Your loved one used the last of their fading strength not to accuse the shooter, but to protect them. Because your loved one knew the real mastermind is someone far smarter, far colder, and far closer to you. Someone whose mask is so perfect, you never even suspected them. Amen. Blessing 19:19. And now comes the twist that changes your entire understanding of the last few months. The witness revealed that as your loved one lay on the ground, they reached into their pocket once more, not for help, not for a phone, not for a final message, but for a symbol. A small object they had been carrying in secret. When the witness opened it, they found something so shocking, so personal, it froze them in place. It was an item that belonged to the real betrayer. Something they had accidentally dropped weeks ago. Something your loved one picked up quietly. Something they kept as proof. And now, that object is the key that will expose everything. Their identity. Their motive. Their connection to you. And why they feared your loved one more than anything. This next part will reveal what that object was. And why it proves the betrayal came from the person you least expect. Stay with me. You're standing one breath away from the full truth. Amen. Blessing 2020. And now the truth steps out of the shadows. Because the witness has finally revealed what that hidden object was, the one your loved one carried so tightly, even in their final conscious moments. When the witness unfolded it, their hands trembled, because it wasn't money, it wasn't a note, it wasn't a photograph. It was something far more intimate, something that only one single person in your life could have owned. And the second the witness saw it, they whispered, "This belongs to them, the one who always pretended to protect you." That object was the final proof, the undeniable evidence, the one thing that ties the mastermind directly to the moment of betrayal. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 21:21. But here's the twist your heart won't forget. Your loved one didn't keep this object by accident. They kept it because they knew that one day you would need the truth. They suspected the betrayal long before you did. They noticed the strange behavior, the subtle manipulation, the forced advice, the fake concern, the sudden interest in your decisions, all the signs that you brushed off because you trusted too deeply. And tonight proves that trust was the weapon used against you. The shooter was just a pawn, confused, pressured, trapped emotionally. But the real mastermind? There's someone who has been feeding off your vulnerability, pushing you gently toward choices that benefited them, not you. Your loved one spent weeks gathering proof, waiting for the perfect moment to show you. And instead of exposing the mastermind while alive, destiny forced the truth out through a moment of chaos. Amen. Blessing 22:22. And now comes the deepest shock of all. When the witness leaned closer to your loved one, trying to keep them awake, your loved one whispered one final secret. They were planning something bigger, something meant for you, but I stopped it. Those words sliced through the silence like a blade of fate. Because this means the shot wasn't the end, it was the beginning of a truth that was meant to save your life. Your loved one sacrificed their safety to interrupt a plan that was quietly taking shape behind your back. And that object, the one they clutched even as their breath weakened, is the key that proves who the mastermind is. The identity is so close, so familiar, that when you hear it, part of you will break, part of you will awaken, and part of you will finally understand why destiny pushed you into this moment. Brace yourself. Because in the next part, the mask falls. And the betrayer's name steps into the light. Amen. Blessing 23:23. This is where everything unravels. Because the witness finally described the expression on your loved one's face when they handed over that final object, the proof that connects every hidden moment, every strange behavior, every uneasy feeling you ignored. Your loved one didn't look afraid. They didn't look defeated. They looked relieved, as if the universe had finally allowed the truth to break free. And in that relief, they whispered the words the witness will never forget. Tell them, the betrayer is closer than their own shadow. Those words alone were enough to freeze the witness in place. Because that means the mastermind wasn't someone distant, not a stranger, not a random enemy. It was someone who has been emotionally inside your life, someone who knows how you think, how you react, what you fear, and what you love. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 24:24. And here comes the twist that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The object your loved one held wasn't valuable for its price. It was valuable for its identity. It was something the mastermind kept with them at all times. A keychain they never left the house without. A bracelet they claimed was for good luck. A small engraved token only they owned. And it was found right beside the place where the mastermind secretly met the shooter days before the incident. Your loved one followed them. Your loved one saw them panic. Your loved one saw the mastermind whisper something that changed the shooter's face from confusion to fear. And when your loved one stepped forward that night, the mastermind disappeared into the shadows, leaving the shooter behind like a disposable shield. The witness revealed that while holding the object, your loved one whispered again, barely audible. They pretended to love you, only to control you. And that single line exposes everything. The mastermind wasn't after your life. They were after your decisions, your future, your freedom. Your loved one stopped that plan by stepping into the line of danger. And the truth spilled out the moment the bullet hit. Amen. Blessing 25:25. And now, prepare yourself. Because the final thing your loved ones said before their voice faded wasn't a warning. It was a name. A name spoken with pain. Yet spoken with certainty. A name that will break your trust, but rebuild your destiny. The witness said hearing it felt like the entire world paused. But they didn't repeat it yet. Because they wanted you to be emotionally ready before the mask falls completely. This is the moment the universe stops breathing. Because the witness has finally reached the part of the truth that was too heavy, too explosive, too emotionally dangerous to reveal earlier. The moment your loved one whispered that final name, the air around them shifted, like the world itself understood that everything was about to change. Their lips trembled, their voice cracked, yet the name came out with a painful clarity that left the witness frozen. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 27:27. But before the name is spoken aloud, the witness needed you to understand the weight behind it. Because this isn't just someone you know. This isn't just someone who stood near you. This is someone who played a deep psychological role in your life. Someone who shaped your emotions, influenced your decisions, guided your fears, and pretended to be the only one who understood you. Every time you doubted yourself, they stepped forward. Every time you trusted someone else, they stepped back, quietly pulling strings to make sure you circled back to them. Your loved ones saw that manipulation long before you did. They watched the mastermind twist your path gently, invisibly, silently. Until tonight blew the entire illusion apart. Amen. Blessing 28:28. And now the revelation grows even sharper. The mastermind didn't want to harm your loved one. They wanted to silence them. Because your loved one was the only person who could see through their mask. The only person who understood how dangerous their influence over your life was becoming. The only person who stood between you and the destiny the mastermind was trying to steer you into. The witness described your loved one's final expression as they whispered the truth. Eyes full of fear for you. But relief that the truth was finally leaving their lips. And then, the name came. Soft. Broken. But clear enough to shatter everything you believed. The witness said they felt the whole world tilt when they heard it. Not because the name was unexpected, but because it was exactly the person you never thought would betray you. Before the witness repeats the name to you, they gave one final warning. Once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. Your heart will break for a moment, but your destiny will finally be free. In the next part, the name will be spoken without hesitation. And the identity of the mastermind will finally stand in the light. Amen. Blessing 29:29. And now, the moment that destiny has been dragging you toward. The moment your loved one risked everything for, the moment the witness could barely force themselves to speak, because once this name leaves their lips, your entire understanding of loyalty, trust, and closeness will collapse like paper in a storm. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 30:30. The witness said they stood frozen, unable to breathe, as your loved one tried to speak. Their voice was faint, trembling, but filled with a strength that only truth can carry. They blinked slowly, fighting the heaviness pulling them under, and with their final reserves of energy, they shaped a single word, a single name, that had been hiding behind every strange moment, every instinct you ignored, every uneasy feeling you brushed aside. This wasn't a stranger's name. It wasn't someone far away. It belonged to someone who walked in and out of your life with complete freedom. Someone whose presence felt normal, but whose intentions were never pure. Amen. Blessing 31:31. The witness said as soon as the name was spoken, the world around them felt unfamiliar. Because the mastermind was someone who acted like your protector. Someone who pretended to worry about you. Someone who always appeared at the right time, but never for the right reason. Someone who listened too closely. Asked too many questions. And gave advice designed to bend your path toward their own benefit. Your loved one saw all of it. The patterns. The manipulation. The disguised obsession. They tried to warn you, but they didn't want to break your heart. They hoped the truth would reveal itself without pain. But fate had a different plan. And tonight, the universe forced the mask to fall. And so, with a trembling breath, your loved one whispered the name. The name of the mastermind who orchestrated everything. The name of the person whose betrayal shook the heavens. It was the one who always claimed they couldn't live without you. Not a friend. Not a stranger. Not an enemy. But someone who wrapped their intentions in emotional closeness. Someone who wanted control, not connection. The witness said the moment they heard it, they understood everything. The fake concern. The sudden interest in your decisions. The guilt trips. The subtle manipulation. The jealousy that simmered beneath every smile. Your loved ones sacrificed themselves not because they were unlucky, but because they refused to let this hidden influence shape your destiny any longer. They took the impact meant to trap your future, and replaced it with the truth that now stands in front of you. Everything shifts now. Because the witness has finally revealed why the mastermind targeted you, why every step you took, every decision you made, every emotion you felt was being quietly redirected like a river forced into a new path. And the answer is darker, deeper, and more calculated than you ever imagined. This wasn't jealousy alone. This wasn't obsession alone. This wasn't desperation alone. This was strategy, a long-term plan designed to isolate you, weaken your intuition, and make you emotionally dependent on the very person who intended to control your future. The mastermind didn't just want influence over your life, they wanted ownership over your destiny. They studied you the way a thief studies the locks they plan to break. They watched who you trusted, who you leaned on, who truly loved you, especially the one who took the bullet meant for your fate. And that's when their fear turned into a mission. Because your loved one was the only person capable of pulling you out of the mastermind's psychological cage. They knew your strength. They knew your worth. They knew your future. And that made them a threat. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 33:33. But here's the twist that changes the entire picture forever. A twist so shocking the witness said it felt like the world cracked open. The mastermind wasn't trying to destroy you. They were trying to replace you. Your energy, your kindness, your presence, your destiny, everything about you intimidated them. They wanted your path, your opportunities, your blessings, your future connections. And somewhere deep inside their twisted obsession, they convinced themselves that if they could break you emotionally, isolate you mentally, weaken your spirit and remove the people who truly loved you, your destiny would become available for them to take. They believed that by removing your loved one, the one who protected you more fiercely than anyone, the doorway to your future would finally open for their manipulation. That's why they watched you so closely. That's why they pretended to care. That's why they whispered advice shaped like comfort but sharpened like a knife. And that's why your loved one became their biggest obstacle. Because your loved one saw through the illusion. They saw how the mastermind twisted your trust into chains. They saw how your future was being guided away from your purpose. And they knew one thing the mastermind never expected: you were destined for something too big to be controlled. Amen. Blessing 34:34. And now comes the revelation that breaks the spell completely. The truth your loved one wanted you to hear before anything else. The mastermind never feared losing you. They feared you waking up. Because the moment you opened your eyes to their manipulation, the moment you realized your own power, the moment you saw who truly loved you and who was using you, their entire influence over your life would collapse. Your loved one stepped into danger because they refused to let your future be rewritten by someone else's insecurity and obsession. They took the impact to break the illusion. They sacrificed their safety to restore your destiny. And now, every heartbeat you feel carries their message. You were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to rise. The mastermind didn't just lose control tonight, they lost the mask they hid behind. And now you stand at the threshold of truth, stronger than ever, ready to reclaim everything that was silently stolen from your path. The will reveal what the mastermind was planning for your future, and why destiny refused to let it happen. Amen. Blessing 35:35. Amen. Blessing 32:32.